Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Attorneys in the Jennifer Crumbley trial make their case one final time.
Why is a mother whose son just killed 4 people thinking about deleting her text messages?
Even if you believe the prosecution's dates about what was going on, it's not strong evidence. It's very misleading.
Now all eyes on an Oakland County jury in a landmark case that could have implications all across the country.
And take a look at live pictures from Pontiac. That's where the judge sent the jury home for the weekend just about 25 minutes or so ago. They're going to return at 9 Monday morning, get instructions, and start deliberating.
Defense rested early this afternoon after only calling one witness, the defendant, Jennifer Crumbley.
And for both sides, it all came down to 2 key arguments. Prosecutor Karen McDonald insisted to the jury that Crumbley missed or ignored every possible warning sign, while the defense says this case is full of reasonable doubt. Let's get to Sean Lay. He's live tonight. Sean, there's just so much to go through here.
Truly, and we hung on every word of both closing arguments. You could feel the tension inside that courtroom, so much at stake here. We'll start with Shannon Smith, the attorney for Jennifer Crumbley, really using her experience as a mom of 4 to appeal to this jury. We'll also start with Karen McDonald, Oakland County prosecutor, who used Jennifer Crumbley's words basically as a hammer.
She walked out of that school when just the smallest of things could have saved, could have helped Hannah and Tate and Madison and Justin. Just the smallest of things. And not only did she not do it, she doesn't even regret it.
Oakland County prosecutor Karen McDonald with her blistering closing arguments to the jury, hammering home her case. The first case of its kind, holding a parent, Jennifer Crumbley, responsible for her son's shooting rampage at Oxford High School. The case that the mother knew her son was a danger and failed to act.
She knew he was watching violent videos. She knew he was proficient with guns. She knew he was previously in crisis. She knew his only friend that he talked to was just gone. She knew all those things.
The stakes here so high for Jennifer Crumbley and for the prosecution. 4 Oxford students killed. Hannah, Tate, Madison, and Justin. 7 injured and families forever traumatized. Jennifer Crumbley's attorney, Shannon Smith, appealing to the jury as a mother of 4, telling the jury not to put too much stock in Jennifer Crumbley's own text messages about her son, saying her own text messages to her husband about her kids out of context could very well make her look bad as a mother.
I texted him, she's in that case. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this. I don't have time for this. My other daughter is complaining about her lights flickering in her room. I texted my husband, this sounds like a case.
Back here live, that's Shannon Smith relating to the jury on her experiences dealing with her own children. Meantime, we'll hear more from Smith and McDonald live at 6 o'clock, guys. As you mentioned, the jury gets this on Monday morning first thing and begin deliberations. We know how much they have to go over. Back to you.
Okay, Sean, we appreciate it. And as you said, we'll check back in with you at 6 o'clock. And if you missed any of Jennifer Crumbley's testimony today or closing arguments, we'll be playing it all back on Local 4 Plus tonight at 6:30, right after the 6 o'clock newscast. You can find Local 4 Plus anywhere you get your streaming channels like Netflix and Hulu.
It was 2 o'clock when the call came in. We're on the city's west side where police say a body was found. Again, 2 o'clock this afternoon. They're told that a body was found in the sewer. They get out here. Sure enough, they do find a body in the sewer. 2 hours later, around 4 o'clock, they successfully removed the man's body from the sewer. Now it's time for that investigation. Who was he? How did he get there? How did he die? All of these questions are what we're asking police. The investigation is just getting underway. As soon as we know more, we will bring that to you. Again, reporting live on the city's west side, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Jacqueline, thank you. Now to more breaking news, this time from the Middle East. The United States begins retaliatory strikes in Iran and Syria. It's the first response to the drone strike that killed 3 American troops in Jordan last weekend. Earlier today, President Biden attended the dignified transfer of the soldiers killed in that attack.
The ice just isn't safe. That's the warning tonight from the Oakland County Sheriff's Office after a woman died falling through the ice on a pond in Milford Township. It happened Thursday afternoon on Hubble Pond after a dog wandered out onto the ice. Rod Maloney shows us why we all need to think twice before making a wrong step.
This is Dodge Park number 4 in Waterford Township, and the ice here looks pretty much like the ice all across southeast Michigan on lakes and ponds. And it's one of those things where it can be inviting to pets who don't know any better. But for those of us who ought to know better, the Oakland County Sheriff Department Marine Division Sergeant Brian Burwell says whether it's below zero or in the 40s like today, there's one rule of thumb.
You know, no ice is ever safe. So if you see people out on the ice, or you hear reports ice are safe, you always want to verify that for yourself.
Which is often a difficult task, in considering what happened in Milford yesterday.
If your pets go out on the ice, call 911, call the sheriff's office, call local police, your fire department. We'll send resources out there.
2 things we know. Ice fishing is a time-tested winter activity across Michigan, and also, as a result, ice rescues.
Kick your feet back. Bring your feet up to the surface by kicking your feet.
And there's a good rule of thumb for even venturing out there.
You know, 4 to 6 inches of ice is good for foot traffic, 6 to 8 for ATVs and snowmobiles, and over a foot for a vehicle. You know, ice will freeze at different points on the lake. So if you're going out on the water, don't assume that all the ice is going to be safe out there.
And above all, if you must go, bring the right tools and dress for the activity.
Always good to carry an ice spud with you to check what's in front of you, so you're checking as you step. Certainly a pair of ice spikes are good to have with you, so if you do go through the ice, you can pull yourself out.
One thing to be aware of, Burwell says, is if you do fall through the ice, you do have some time, but you also need to remember that that cold water will quite literally take your breath away. He says you have to stay calm, get your breath back, and then try and get out of the water. He says it's best if you have a life preserver, a life jacket, or even a flotation suit. Back to you.
So important. All right, Rod. Well, now back to Plymouth, where concerned family members are coming forward worrying about flooding issues at a local cemetery. Tonight, Help Me Hank coming to the rescue yet again.
This is happening at United Memorial Gardens along M14 and Curtis Road. Several reached out to Hank, hoping he could get the issue resolved. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester joins us live from Plymouth tonight. Hank, the cemetery moved quickly after you got involved in this.
Yeah, they certainly did, Kimberly. I mean, it's just a few miles here from this location in the heart of Old Town Plymouth here. Now, listen, when we got out there and I met with the families, I saw the conditions. I knew something had to get done right away. And thankfully, the cemetery, the team there, well, they jumped right into action. Take a look. Looking at this video, you understand why family members are upset.
I had no words.
Yolanda reaching out to Help Me Hank after visiting her father's grave. Her dad, Vietnam vet Johnny Swanson's final resting place, submerged. The water everywhere.
I was just in shock, just standing there. I couldn't even see my dad's gravestone.
She says she tried to get answers from cemetery management here at United Memorial Gardens in Plymouth, but she couldn't get any answers.
They told me that this was typically Michigan, and it had rained for several days, and then we had snow. So they were saying that it was nothing that they can do about the situation.
So I started working to find out what is happening here, or what's not happening. Within hours, I was talking with management from their corporate offices in Portland, Oregon. And a short time later, the work was underway. A backhoe, draining hoses, a big team all working to make this right.
People come to our locations to connect with their loved ones, to find peace, to find solace, to be able to go to a place where they have chosen a memorial, a place of reflection. And if they can't get to it, that's a problem, weather related or not. So appreciate that people had some grace, gave us some, leeway to take a few hours to get things under control, but we did.
Just hours after we got involved, the water moving away from these graves. Thank you for helping us come to the rescue. back out here live. And listen, we get it. We know Mother Nature can certainly be unpredictable, and there's been a lot of flooding issues in all different parts of Metro Detroit. But I will tell you, when we put the call into the cemetery explaining the situation, showing them the video, they really put their team together right away, doing whatever they could to make this right. And family members tell me they are eager to get to the cemetery tomorrow to visit their loved ones' grave sites. We're live tonight in Plymouth. Hank Winchester, help me, Hank. Back to you.
Really nice work, Hank. We appreciate that.
We're going to stay in Plymouth with the weather because there is a lot going on there today, including this.
That's right. These are my pictures from Drone 4 over the Plymouth Ice Festival. And from the looks of it, the weather is just right for it because we even saw a little bit of sun today. See, it's still kind of glistening out there. Well, it's beautiful. Let's get over to Kim Adams.
We saw our shadow.
That's right. Hi, Kim.
I know, I was so excited because I thought everyone would love the gorgeous sunshine, but unfortunately for the sculptures here, it's difficult. They've had to pack the sculptures in dry ice to prevent the sun from melting them. But I have Tiana behind me. She's a gold medalist from Alaska carving a beautiful ice sculpture. It is a beautiful night here in Metro Detroit. Last year at the Ice Festival, it was 17 degrees, and now we've got temperatures that are in the 30s and 40s all across Metro Detroit. In fact, take a look at some local temperatures under clear blue skies. It is gorgeous. 38 downtown, mid-30s in Howell and Pontiac, 40 in Monroe. Clouds and radar forecast, not much going on. We've got high pressure that is bringing us clear skies, a little cloudy up into the thumb, but other than that, it's going to be a nice evening. Once the sun sets, though, at 5:48, temperatures will drop rather quickly and we'll be back down to freezing by midnight tonight. And while we may not be excited about temperatures that are freezing, definitely the folks out here at the Plymouth Ice Festival are very happy as those sculptures will be protected overnight tonight. So I'll be back with a look at the rest of the weekend forecast, and we'll talk more about what's going on here in Plymouth coming up.
All right.